example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame today, I suppose. I'm sure the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions myself. I won't preserve you, Lord Captain, and I thank you for your support. Admiral grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that enforcers were unable to handle the situation and then led to your and Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to the depot myself and see the expedient resolution of this incident. Okay. Oh, goodness. Oh, choose our party members? Oh, okay, so these are fixed. Let's have... I'm sure bringing Cassia is going to make the people very happy. Oh, I can bring all? Do we leave Cassia out of this? That could be seen as coddling her or being overprotective, which I feel like maybe she wouldn't enjoy. But also, bringing her there might make some of the riffraff, you know, show unsavory behavior towards her, which she would also not enjoy. But then we can step in and earn brownie points. So, bring her, I guess.
It's about time.
It's Versarian, take that scum. Look who it is. This is all his fault. All of his. Oh, jeez. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and awareness to show through his armor like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems, sometimes a jelly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. The people dare to respect a senior officer. They would not have the chance to express disrespect if we were not here, and if the situation had been dealt with by the relevant officers. Abelard grimaces. It's a junior officer's worst failing, to pass problems up the chain of command. I've never been able to abide it. I shall say it again. It was a mistake to come here, on Lieutenant Vent's whim, Lord Captain. I must admit that the lieutenant is by no means the worst material for an officer, Abelard adds peevishly. But in the name of Terra, that girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter, and she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and hunt down cultists. It will be another 20 years at least before she can be trusted to act without oversight. Alright, let's keep moving. Something resembling a nest made of thermal insulation material. This must have been where the workers slept. Okay. Rabble. There seems to be some hot vents. I guess we turn them off by turning the wheels. More valves, more rabble. Hey, rabble. Why did we pause? What happened? Must have spotted something somewhere. Surely it can't be a trap in my own ship. Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it. Turn the valve.
Yes. The future is never certain.
Oh, I can't turn it. Oh, I see. Perhaps examining the pipe. What does that mean? Follow the pipe?
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Neither do I, Abelard.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on...
The sound of a heated discussion reverberates through the ship's base. Lieutenant Avril Vent of the Ships and Forces is barring the path of her superior. Oh, God. Girl, you are trouble. And not the good kind. Judging by their expression and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already, and has now reached a boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I've given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Went looks shaken, but there's fire in her eyes. Oh, there will be fire in her eyes, all right. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify what he means. Vent, Sarback, looming over her, or both. Your ladyship, noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute their subordinates following suit a moment later. What's the sitch? Your ladyship, many people have locked down the base where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have a situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigative unit, and what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate. This simply calls for immediate repercussions and firing squads. And you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. The local's conduct was not very courteous. Went's gaze is full of worry and regret. The people are getting desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit and decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, apologize, Lord Captain. It's outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. Is that all you have to say? Really? You're not really behaving very officer-like right now. Charges for eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Maybe it's soylent beans, who knows? For a split second, Vent freezes in fear, but she pulls herself together, straightens and clips out. Forgive me, Lord Captain. I will take steps to ensure such thing does not happen again. I'm here, I'll talk to them. Abelard is not happy. What the fuck's going on? Let's have a look. Oh, we can walk down here. So the valves do nothing. They're not interactable. Okay. Huge pipes, the arteries of the ship run through the base, delivering air, water, and all yada yada yada. Okay. Greetings, Your Grace. A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation. Heresy! From the barely discernible to the strange, to the outright grotesque. Rivet. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd. An elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you've come down to us. We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an excellent explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top-deck units are being sent down here. Like that one there that the lieutenant won't let pass. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've just had about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad has just arrived. No wonder folks are lashing out. Awareness test succeeded. Damn, that's a good roll. Or a good check. The words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them all. Why are you striking? This is striking? That's new to us, your ladyship. There's a tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Okay. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes onto you. Here's the deal, your ladyship. Your damned forces are all over us down here. They say we're looking for cultists. One wrong word, and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to the whole base for a week at a time. So we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in the lungs, all because of those enforcements. The woman spits on the floor and rubs at a spill with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Well, maybe you shouldn't harbor cultists, then? Shh. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Went is the only enforcer who stood up for us. It's clear as day we had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships and has no fellow feelings towards us. Your ladyship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we got guns pointed at us. Well, that's because you went on strike. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. I was told the searches start because one of you was in a position of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The giga they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, as one does, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not, and if there were, we'd be the first to report them. Is that so? And as for the amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breeding in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the body, the boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Ouch! Oh yeah? Those boots really were fine. And then there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor, and when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformer and the servo motor. The same way my grandfather has taught 100 years back by the tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your ladyship, we're people of faith. What is this rabble? Naive children, weren't you taught about the early age of the danger of the Arch-Enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one. That's regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of your holy fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not here, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Okay. Lord, do you have anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to place himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I'm certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedoers. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Okay. Sarbak, was it necessary to torture these people with cold? The rebel understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulation, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting their air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they're the source of their own misery. And all they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measurements will disappear. Yeah? Okay. What changes do you want? Ooh, would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain herself is asking us bilge-rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers to quit turning off the heat and stop battering everyone that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here and we want to be armed. No, you're not. Give us arms or we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if the cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. Stevedore is someone who unloads cargo. Stevedore? Did I read that? Alright, whatever, it's fine. You've gone too far, old man. They never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. Oof, without the enforcers breathing down their necks, they'll probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first days out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who rob the cultist bodies and we'll talk to them. One lower decker to another. If there are any more of these damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. Okay. It was on the screen before. Okay. Unhand your... God damn it. Okay, that still didn't work for the emote. That's unfortunate. Old Nan is crazy. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures, I want real change. They promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns her back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before. Okay. It's a quote from the video. Oh. I wish I knew the video. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds, he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making vague noises of approval. I'm not giving you weapons. Everyone who was involved will be eliminated. Just take your punks like a man. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Let's see. Well, I have a 100% chance here. Master's arms, where do you stand? Give the rebel a Grox and they'll take an Agri-World, Lord Captain. They only understand the brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling their forces would be folly. It would only be a matter of time before we have a full-scale mutiny on our hands. Ablard, a story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up Heresy's amulet doesn't convince me. These people are moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the arch-enemy. We must not give them what they want, even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity. That does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. Valid point. Yeah, I feel like this is the best option. And they're not getting weapons, then forces are remaining here. We'll consider the conditions, but that's it. Old man, listen. The Lord Captain herself has come down to us and is offering concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to a roach trader, let alone talk to them. Back down now. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old man. The 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to expand his forces or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. The woman hisses in dissatisfaction. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman, but I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. Do you guys smell a heretic? Can we take her away? Okay. Persecution will stop for now. And if it doesn't, purging time please. Well, they are just a rabble. You played far too nice, barely purged anyone. So let's think about this. Maybe there are enough people here who will be moles if something happens. Or maybe they will succumb to bribes or other stuff. You're not a mole? That sounds like something a mole would say. You're not digging holes in people's gardens. I mean, again, sounds like something a mole would say. Then again, these guys are clearly under suspicion. They're easily replaceable. We could set an example here, and that would resolve the situation. Maybe it would also get new officer lady in line. It would placate Ablard. And I feel like the Mastered Arms would be okay with it. In Australia, you have something better than moles. Wormbats? Wombats? Wombats. Do they also try to kill you? Just asking for a friend. You know what? Y'all failed to convince me of your trustworthiness. This unrest ends now. Cleanse and purge. Swear my loyalty. I beg you, have mercy. Curse you! Sabak gives a signal and is the first to raise her weapons. Yes, Lord Captain. A real event. Suddenly Lieutenant Van stands in the executioner's path once again. Her face resembles a wax mask and her eyes are wide with fear, but her lips are clamped into a firm line. If you want to mow down everyone in Depot 4, you can start with me. Oh god. Vance, stop this! This is treason! Sorry, I've let everybody down. It's not clear who her words refer to. Abellards, her comrades, or the striking workers who are now doomed to die. Vance reaches forward and grabs the barrel of the weapon aimed at the crowd.
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
Give me strength.
Why do we have a tutorial? Cassidia is an officer on and your ship's navigator. She strikes foes with energies of the warp and supports party members by making her allies stronger. Okay. Voice of command buffs an ally for a round. Dependent on fellowship bonus. 2-turn cooldown. Bring it down is an officer ability that lets them immediately pass the turn to an ally. The ally does not get any movement points for this extra turn, but they do gain a number of action points depending on the officer's fellowship bonus. Okay. If the ally is under the effective voice of command and destroys an enemy before the end of the officer's turn, the ally will be granted extra momentum for this kill. Okay. Lidless Stare is an unique damaging ability that assails all targets in a wide cone in front of the navigator with warp energies. Okay. Based on willpower. Rabble, riffraff. Cassia goes first. She has a buff thing. I think she does it from over here. Sourback. Up front. No. Oh, I can't control you. Idira? Back here. Where are the Flammenwerfer? I don't know. Abelard, you are good up here. Argenta, back here. Emily, up here. Start battle. Scared running into droppers if you go to Oz. What? I don't. What's your. What was that? Oh, I. Okay. Rivets. And then the rabble here. So if we from here do some spray and pray, I think we should be good. So this is 2 AP, this is 1. So if we run and gun... Oh, rapid fire cost an action. That's why this doesn't work out with action economy. So we come here. We'll just fire into this brow. Can we maybe go a little bit further forward? Avoids damage on our own guy there.